Shinoda and Delson agonized over the future of the band. Eventually, they came to the conclusion that in order to survive, they needed a frontman who could better represent their eclectic sound. In 1999, Mark Wakefield was dropped from Zero. The remaining members contacted their old recruits at Zamba Music in the hopes of finding a stellar new vocalist. Jeff Blue, an early supporter of the band and VP of A&R at Zamba, recalled a young up-and-coming singer named Chester Bennington. Fate was working her magic when Bennington, based in Phoenix, Arizona, received a phone call from Zamba in the midst of his 23rd birthday celebration.
Worship the crown, kiss my hand.
The next day, a package arrived on his doorstep containing 2 demos from Zero, a track with Wakefield singing, and an instrumental version of the same song. Chester couldn't believe his good fortune. He was drawn to the music as if by magnetic force. When he sat down to write parts for the song, the melody and lyrics came effortlessly. After 3 days of intense reworking, Chester sent the finished product back to California. When the band heard Bennington's tape, they were blown away. Instant, they knew they found the missing piece of the puzzle.
Chester has this incredibly weird thing when he sings really aggressive. He has like 2 or 3 different voices inside his voice. You can hear 2 or 3 different notes, and it's the strangest thing in the world.
But before they could go from zeros to heroes, the band had to hatch a plan of attack. When we return, the guys get focused, find freedom, and cash in on some hard-earned success. But not before spending a little extra time at the School of Hard Knocks.
People made jokes about us being put together by a boy band producer thing or something.
Watch as these musical renegades make a fresh start and go for broke. Force to be continued.
Do you want to?
Linkin Park are the definitive leaders of the nu metal genre. They sold over 35 million records worldwide and show no signs of slowing down. But these talented stars didn't blaze trails overnight. They struggled for years to gain recognition and respect in the music industry.
You're just trying to prove, like, hey, I'm not jobless. I've got a job. It's like writing music. I don't make money. I don't make money at it, but I mean, I do this every day, you know?
In 1999, the band formerly known as Zero had a charismatic new frontman and a fresh outlook on their career. The herald of changes, the group renamed themselves Hybrid Theory.
Hybrid Theory is definitely a lot more than just a combination of sounds. You know, we like to bring in not only the different combinations of the sounds, but we also have a heavy aspect, a softer aspect. We have a more aggressive side, a more sensitive side, even lyrically too. So there's a lot of different ideals that go into our music.
Hybrid Theory wasted no time recording a self-titled 6-song EP, which they marketed independently through the internet and the newly formed street team.
In the beginning stages of the band, we were doing it on our own. I think that our 6 guys are pretty tech savvy, and in the beginning we were doing that. We started our street team on our own and packed those things up and stored all the names in our own database and contacted all those people via email.
A combination of musical merit and clever self-promotion put Hybrid Theory back in the game. In no time, they built up a healthy fan base and felt confident enough to pitch their wares to labels for a second time. But although the music garnered enough interest to win some showcase opportunities, there were still no offers on the table.
We pretty much focused all of our energy on the songs, and that really was our basis for what we wanted to do. And then after we got the songs together, we put the demo together, and then we started showcasing for the labels and doing a few shows here and there.
By 2000, the band was at a standstill. They had repeatedly solicited record labels to no avail. To make matters worse, the group discovered their name was copyrighted, and they were forced to give it up. Ever the optimist, The guys saw the incident as a sea of change and were reborn as Linkin Park.
So we all just wrote a bunch of different names down on our separate lists, and I chose Linkin Park because it was a park that's right by where I lived, and just sounded good, had a good vibe.
In a fateful turn of events, old friend and staunch supporter Jeff Blue paid a visit to the band. Blue had recently joined the Warner Brothers team, and he convinced the label to take a chance on Linkin Park. They were finally getting their break. Ready to start a rock and roll revolution, the guys seized the opportunity and never looked back. In October 2000, Linkin Park proudly presented their label debut, Hybrid Theory, to the world. And the world responded. Within 5 weeks of the album's release, it sold over 500,000 copies. Gold Records, sold-out tours, and massive airplay took Linkin Park from starving artists to megastars in the blink of an eye.
We started and Mike and Brad were originally working on music on a 4-track. I think the point of everything was just to enjoy ourselves and do something that we love, which is write and play music.
The album spawned smash hits like Crawling and In the End. While the first single, One Step Closer, became the rock anthem of 2001.
We have something that we can listen to, and we are perfectionists. We really are hard on ourselves when it comes to writing music and most things like playing shows, whatever. And I think that this is something we can listen to from beginning to end and be happy with.
The band's biggest supporters connected with Bennington's honest and forthright lyrics, inspired in part by his struggles with an abusive childhood and the drug addiction in his teens.
It's a really emotional song. It's got a lot of very deep lyrics, and it's kind of like admitting something that you don't really like to admit, which is, having a problem with yourself. And sometimes you have to learn how to deal with living inside of your own skin and being the person that you are, day to day. And that's not something to be ashamed of or anything like that. It's just something that isn't always peachy.
He said he may write something that's really straight ahead, whereas I might write something that's really what our producer Don would say, poor me. I write a lot of stuff that's just oh God, I'm so bummed or whatever. But we find a way to put those things that are a little more, hopefully a little more intelligent than just whatever comes out of your head, and work with them a little bit and come up with something we're really proud of.
Hybrid Theory would go on to become the biggest selling album of 2001, with over 19 million sold worldwide and a huge fan base in Canada. Linkin Park were the new kings of the music industry.
Obviously, we're just normal guys. We make music and we do what we do, and we work hard at it, and hopefully in that people who want to do something can see that and say, if I work hard, I want to get where I want to be, and that's an inspiration. That's actually a strong thing.
Our goal as a band is to make music, and our goal has always been to make the best music that we possibly can.
In 2002, the band released Reanimation, a well-received compilation of remixes by some of the biggest names in the biz. But for all the success, Linkin Park couldn't escape the old public pastime of building up a hero just to knock them down again. Linkin Park came under fire from critics who claimed their music was manufactured angst.
People make jokes about us being put together by a boy band producer thing or something. They said what if they're manufactured? Big scandal. And obviously that's ridiculous.
In fact, the entire new metal genre was called into question. Criticized for being a part of the same star-making machinery that created prefab pop stars.